Happy belated Valentine's. I just want to share about a tip that might not apply for everyone, but it will be a very unique perspective, a possible way for people who have been in a very long-term relationship and maybe they have ended it, or people were in a very one-sided relationship for a very long time and they couldn't really manage to get out of the situation or to have the courage to be able to approach someone new and start a healthy relationship with them, even though it's been so many years. And maybe they're just really nice, they just don't want to hurt other people because of their emotionally unavailability. I just want to suggest that you can take however you want to use with this information. I'm not saying that it's definitely the right way, but I'm saying that it might be a way that some people can use to help themselves, and that is to confess, to just be honest about your situation with your new love interest. Maybe you just got out of a relationship that was 5 years long. You just ended because your goals were different, but you still love that person and you were not ever sure if you could really move on. But there's also this other person that you met and then you really like them as well, but you're also afraid that you will hurt them. So I suggest that you can tell them honestly. You can tell them what the pros or the cons, tell them about your feelings, tell them about currently what's your situation, that you just left this relationship maybe 1 year ago, but it was like a 5 year long relationship and you are still working hard on coming terms with these ideas, and you know for sure that they are not a rebound. This is just your one-sided feelings that you just have to come to terms with, because not every breakup ends with a very clean cut on the relationship. Sometimes you break up while you're still in love, and this advice is for people who broke up while they're still in love, even though they knew that there was no result, there was no end in that relationship that they were in, and they really still want to be able to have a relationship with someone else that could still love them, that they could still love back, and really receive the love from them, and to give the love in a way that's more healthy, that in a way that is more fulfilling. And this is what I'll suggest that they can do. Just be honest. You leave the decision to whoever you're confessing, and you lay down all the facts or the pros or the cons, and you leave it up to them to decide whether they want to take the risk. So what this does is it also reduces the guilt on your end. That's first. Second, you give yourself the courage to be able to love again, the courage to try to be in a relationship, even though you just left one relationship maybe last year. It could be like a 5 year long relationship, and sometimes relationships like that take a long time to get over, and you know that it's just not possible. You just have to come to terms that love isn't enough and your feelings isn't enough. It's okay to feel that way. It's okay to still love your ex in a way, but of course you have to make a clean cut. You don't contact them as much, or you don't contact them at all. It depends on where you stay on that line and how your future partner thinks about that as well, and you just decide whether is it a clean cut for you, or are you still okay to still talk to them and not have these feelings. And the other thing is to really, what I suggest, at least at the very start, you should have a very clean cut. Really, don't contact them. You need this time to heal. You need this time to focus on your new relationship, and this person that in love with you, likes you, and is willing to take the risk, then you really do your best to treat them as lovingly as possible, as kindly. And of course you have to see if they also invest back in you. Do they really treat you well? Do they really love you, right? Is it a healthy relationship? It's not just a rebound, it's not just guilt, things like that. What I'll suggest is to keep a cons note, or it can be a written one or it can be a digital one, that you write why did the last relationship not work, or the last few relationships not work, At least you can remind yourself what is it you need this time and how to improve so that your relationship don't feel the same way. If it's within your control, yes, of course there are things that are not within your control, you can't do anything about it, and that's okay. It's up to you whether this thing applies to you, whether this is something you want to try, but this is just a different perspective. It doesn't mean it's right, it doesn't mean it's wrong, it doesn't mean it fit everybody and everyone. Not everyone should do this, and I know that not everyone might be able to do this as well. It's just something that works for me, and I personally, it has helped me, and I have completely moved on from that previous long relationship that I thought I could never move on from. That's the other thing that you learn from getting out of heartbreaks, that it's entirely possible to come to terms to it. It's completely possible to love again, to love someone again, to be a long-term relationship with someone again. And it's also completely possible to be nice and to be honest while you do that. And trust yourself, to give yourself the courage to love someone healthy and to be a green flag for someone else as well. Do whatever you want to do with the advice, and I wish you all the best.